Where is Melania Trump? That's a question many people have been asking for quite some time. Ordinarily, if you're married and you're running for the big one, the big office for president, and you're supposed to be the party of family values person, often you then show, look, this is my beautiful wife and our beautiful relationship, and we want to take this to the Oval Office. We want to represent the country on the world stage, and in part, the world will see the love that I have for my wife. And so it's been strange that Melania Trump has been so absent, for sure, especially compared to the much more out front relationship between Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman, and Vice President Kamala Harris. But we've finally got a little bit of social media activity from Melania Trump. She's selling a book, her memoir, which I can only imagine is just riveting. By the way, don't go order that book. How dare you if you're thinking of it. It's just going to be a bunch of pre-approved stories of I'm assuming, approved by the Trump campaign of her life. I don't know. Maybe you want to learn about that. Who knows? But before getting to her promo for her book, she posted this, which is so bizarre given how absent she's been. Just out of the blue, Melania says this.
The 2020 election results changed our lives forever. It impacted our quality of life, cost of food, gasoline, safety, and even the geopolitical landscape. America is more divided today than ever before. It has become increasingly apparent that there are significant challenges to free speech, as demonstrated by the efforts to silence my husband.
What? That's your big reintroduction to society? By the way, let's go through this point by point, then I'll show you this next video. I guess, so that was a promo for her book. The 2020 election results changed our lives forever. What were the results, Melania? Because there's this thing going on now in MAGA. For electoral purposes, they've started to not say as often, as explicitly, that the election was stolen. And they'll say, oh, we're not looking back, we're looking forward. No. If you are saying you believe and have proof that a national presidential election was stolen, you would bring it up constantly. You wouldn't move on because you'd want to solve that problem, right? You only are okay moving on because that was just a way for Trump to continue his winner facade when he's not actually a winner, to continue his hold of the Republican Party by saying, no, I didn't lose, so you should move on from me. It was stolen from me. I'm just as popular as I've ever been. But it's not actually true, so he's willing to move on from it. Not completely, obviously. He still lies constantly about it. But a little bit rhetorically. And in Lex Fridman, in that podcast, after lying about the election, he then said, well, I'm not looking backwards. You should if it's something that big. It's like us. We look backwards when it comes to your attempts to block the peaceful transfer of power because of those lies, because of how that has repercussions going forward. So I would like to hear Melania's answer to what happened in 2020. What were the results? And some of your followers think Trump's still the president. So is he to blame for this stuff? Then it changed our lives forever. True. Impact our quality of life. True. Contributed to, instead of the mismanaging that was going on by Trump, us dominating economically compared to the rest of the world. And yes, a bunch of economic pain caused by the pandemic fallout. But again, compared to what we would have seen under Trump as shown by other countries handling, it actually was effective. Then cites examples there. The geopolitical landscape, also true. America's more divided today than ever before. Oh, it makes me so mad when people say that in support of Trump. What? It's like, this one really gets to me. I don't even want to bring it up because it's going to ruin my day. But Fox News hosts will say, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris promised to unite America, and we're so divided still. That's why you shouldn't support them. What? That was your whole thing. When you got elected, you said, oh, you think you're gonna You think you're going to unite America on our watch? Hold my beer. No, that's what you said. And then you worked every day to lie, distort, and manipulate facts in the interest of dividing us further. So I don't think the problem is the solution to the problem, if you catch my drift. The majority of people who watch the show on a regular basis aren't actually subscribed to the channel. If you can make sure you are by clicking that subscribe button. Easy, free, simple, but makes all the difference. I greatly appreciate it to help us get the word out. Back to the video. And then she talks about, I guess she is following the party line that Trump's being silent. So we'll talk about after this next video, the real feelings about Melania Trump that we talked about when it comes to her husband. But here is the next video. The caption is my story, my perspective, the truth.
Writing this memoir has been a deeply personal and reflective journey for me. As a private person who has often been the subject of public scrutiny and misrepresentation, I feel a responsibility to clarify the facts. I believe it is important to share my perspective, the truth.
Were you split screen for that, Jaden? I did miss every drum beat if you were watching. Sorry. That was embarrassing. I do love. Do you remember when she decorated the White House? Was it for Christmas? And it was just the weirdest, strangest, darkest decorations. It's like take Christmas and then extract all the joy and the Jesus and the children and the gifts and the family and decorate your house based on that aesthetic. That's what it looks like. It's funny that her book also, if you could split screen this, is so boring. It's just Melania, black and white. I also feel like this, my story, my perspective, the truth, she's actually in the book going to say, just like Trump, the fake news went after me for unfair reasons, and actually I'm this great person and everything's wonderful. But, and don't even worry for a second, she didn't spend a moment writing this book. It was definitely a ghostwriter, most likely. But doesn't it feel sort of like she's trying to get some liberals to buy it by saying, my perspective, the truth about me, since we all have these questions around, is she even a fan of her husband? And reportedly, according to Anthony Scaramucci, no one in the country wants Kamala Harris to win more than Melania Trump. Take that for what you will. But I feel like some people might think, wait, is she going to reveal some things that indicate what we believe about her in her relationship with her husband? But the fact that she's back in the news because of this book leads the online world to produce clips like this of a very happy Donald Trump and Melania Trump going on a very cute walk. Oh, no, this is Doug Imhoff and Kamala Harris, of course. You don't have any videos like this. There they are. Riveting stuff, huh? Anyone else, when you see Doug Imhoff, I know he had a little whoopsie in his past. Okay, I'm not ignoring that. I'm not saying he's a perfect, in his past relationship was a perfect husband. But his vibe does seem like sort of the ideal, just sort of a husband's husband. That doesn't make sense. Just sort of your archetypical husband, right? A good American husband. That's the vibe I get. But people will post clips like that and say, where are the videos that look like this of Donald and Melania Trump? And And just, even though I think Melania Trump, given her support for her husband, given this video, saying the exact same things Trump would about the state of things in America, judged her harshly, of course. She's an independent person and she can make these decisions, and she's sticking by him in a very technical sense. And for that, she should be judged. But sometimes I'll say I don't blame her for not showing up to support Trump. Imagine her standing next to Trump at his press conference as he's saying, she wasn't the chosen one, about a woman that he sexually abused. She wouldn't have been the chosen one, and not my type. And then going, and by the way, this other person who accused me, and this other person who accused me, this other person who accused me, they're all wrong, even the person who accused me, and then litigated in a court of law in front of a jury of my peers. It's all bogus. And by the way, they're not even hot enough for my sexual abuse. His argument, not mine. It would be kind of strange to have Melania Trump standing in the background, I'll say. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments, and support the show by clicking the join button below. And if you want in the White House, aside from all of the policy issues that are the most consequential on a little surface level basis, if you want a husband and wife who seem to be able to spend more than a minute in a room together, you can donate at the link in the description of this video.